Today is Friday, March 2nd, 2018. I am Ghost. That is Dan Tom. That is Randy. You can't see him, but he's here.
Pew, pew, pew.
And in New York is Buck Rogers over there.
Yeah.
That is Danny. What's up, everybody?
My name's not Buck.
Your name is Buck, and you're ready to have a great show.
When we do, when it comes to ages with this little group that we have here, it's going to go Randy, myself.
Pew, pew, pew.
Between Randy and I is about 9 years. Between me and Dan is probably about 6 or 7 years, I think.
Yep.
And then Danny and Dan are like just a couple years.
Yeah.
But I gave out so many references the other night at dinner, and there was a 25-year-old there, and she had no idea anything that was going on.
Yeah.
Randy, do you remember lunch pails with a thermos? Who did you have? Spider-Man?
Ghostbusters. Peter Venkman. Venkman, baby.
Would you agree that whoever had the Star Wars one, that was like the kid that was pretty much in charge, right? Yeah, that was the go-to. I had A-Team, Dukes of Hazzard, Scooby-Doo.
Coming up at 30.
Yeah, we are.
I had another one. But they had to be tin. Dan's age group, when they came along, then they became plastic.
Thermos.
Do you know why
That's
they
right.
became plastic, Dan Tom?
Because idiots from my generation probably choked on things.
No. Because idiots from our generation love to hit other kids with them.
Oh,
and when they're
nice.
10, they would go,
That was every
they would
generation.
thump the hell out of kids.
Head trauma wasn't invented yet, Goes.
Yeah.
It was the 80s.
All right, guys, we are coming up. Stand by.
This is your captain speaking. We are making our descent into Las Vegas McCarran Airport. On behalf of our crew, we'd like to thank you for flying MMA Junkie Airlines. Now please fasten your seatbelts and put your tray tables in your upright position because the descent is going to be a little bit bumpy.
Alright, Junkie Nation, it's time to roll, baby, on MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Go. This is what we doing while we do it, baby. All night long, we rollin'! Yeah!
The MMA Junkie Radio revolution is upon us.
Can you dig it?
There's no escape. No escape. Through the vast frontier of cyberspace and through a sea of stars in outer space.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
We've solidified our combat communication stranglehold.
We are controlling transmission.
With the use of MMA Junkie Radio and SiriusXM satellite radio technology. MMA Junkie Radio. Commence transmission. Live from MMA Junkie Radio HQ in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Here are your hosts, Gorgeous George and Goes.
From the fight capital of the world inside the beautiful Mandalay Bay Racing Sportsbook, you are listening to the MMA Junkie Radio Show, the only show that matters. I'm your host, Gorgeous George. With me as always is the devious and dastardly Goes. Our East co-host. To my left, it's the fight analyst, Dan Tom. Back east, handling all the producing duties as always, it's Danny Otto, and of course our site coordinator, good friend of the show, Randy from San Francisco's chilling in the studio as well. What's up, everybody?
What up?
Happy Friday.
Morning.
Happy Friday.
Morning.
I've been thinking
Well,
the
thank
last 2 days have been Friday, so
I know.
it's been weird.
Yesterday I almost went through the whole guest list for the week like I normally do, except for last week when I forgot or
Why
ran out
are
of time.
we doing that?
Why was I doing that?
Why are we doing that? Because I think Dan said the other day, too, hey, it feels like Friday. Wednesday felt like Friday for some reason.
That's a good question. Why? Maybe because remember when we had like, well, no, that was Wednesday. I was gonna say we had 6 fighters on the show Wednesday.
Could it be with the tournaments starting now, the conference tournaments, or
I
I don't know what the hell it is, but I know a lot of people have been saying that.
I don't know. I don't know why I felt that way. I felt like I saw a lot of my fair share of embeddeds. You know, people are doing their own vlogs. The fighters had checked in. We had some in studio, and I think everything just seemed like it was pushed back a day. And it's not. Today's Friday. But luckily, we love the job, so it's not much of a struggle to get us in here. And here we are for the next couple hours, ready to talk about UFC 222, which takes place tomorrow night. And there's a really, really good fight on Bellator 195 tonight as well. So we can talk about any of that. Maybe March Madness, too. It's getting crazy. Did you guys catch the Virginia-Louisville game yesterday? I know Brandon from Louisville had to be talked off a ledge. Because this
But they weren't supposed to win. They were supposed to... The line was somewhat close, but they were supposed to get smashed.
They were supposed to get smashed. I mean, the line was 4, but Virginia's the number 1 team in the country. And every time they made a run, Louisville answered. In the end, Louisville, all they had to do was pretty much inbound a pass, and that would have been the end of the game. Because even if they go to the other side and get fouled, it was only 0.9 seconds left. Even if they go to the other side and he misses both, they're out of timeouts. They have to heave it like a basketball court. I think is 94 by 50 feet.
Like Danny Manning?
So it's like 0.1% or 1%. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Instead, the guy travels, and now Virginia gets the ball at their hoop. They inbound the ball. The guy hits a bank shot, falling away, 3-pointer. Ridiculous, man. I couldn't believe it. Gutted for Louisville because they've been through a lot, but this could have been a big win for them. I mean, the students were really ready to storm the court.
Any 3-pointer that's banked in hurts even more.
Yeah.
Because you know he completely missed it, but it went in.
But he threw it up at the bucket.
If he hit it, then you go, wow, that was an amazing shot.
He gave himself the opportunity to win because he threw it up at the bucket. And the defense just could have been better, but it wasn't. And anyway, it's just one of those that you don't see very often. How about on the way in, I noticed that Chris Cyborg's already weighed in. The weigh-in started at 9 a.m. Pacific. She already came in at 144.75. I mean, I'm so happy for her. You know what I mean? Like, the world champion came in, took a fight off 3 weeks' notice, and she looked happy on the embeddeds. No struggles at all. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but she was one of the first, or I imagine. I mean, I saw this before I left the house, and they were only a few minutes into this, and she was already ready to go. So rehydrating and made it by 0.25. Good for her.
Nice. I haven't caught up. I just saw a tweet, though, updated tweet of our own Mike Bond. Less than 1 hour left in the weigh-in window. Only one fighter remaining to weigh in. Yes, it is Mackenzie Dern. As of now, still expecting Ketlin Vieira to weigh in for her second attempt, which tells me she didn't make it the first time. That's all I know of as of now. Did you guys hear any of that?
Come on,
I didn't know. I didn't scan the whole thing. Just the Cyborg thing jumped out at me.
Okay.
And I think I noticed Ortega and Edgar were good.
Sweet.
So I don't know much about.
If she does not make weight for this fight, you have to question whether or not her head is even in this sport, because she's had this problem before. And she should have been in the UFC a lot sooner, but not making weight has cost her that opportunity. Now she gets it, and if she misses weight on this stage, with all this on the line, what is going on?
Well, she made weight in her last one at Invicta. She only had the one fight at Invicta goes, and then she had 4 before that. So I don't know how much.
LFA.
Right. I don't know how much
one fight
sooner
Invicta,
than that.
I don't think she would have. I think she just would have been to the UFC.
I want to say it was 2 and then 1 troublesome one where she had to reweigh, but I'll pull up the exact one for you guys now.
Okay. Well, hopefully she
look
makes
at
weight.
Dan Googling Mackenzie Dern weigh-ins over there.
Oh, I already had the tab pulled up.
I'll take one for the team.
Maybe, I mean, I guess we'll give her 1 hour, do justice, and see what happens. But there's just certain fighters. I mean, this happens with Lineker. We all hold our breath. Habib in about a month, we'll all be holding our breath there. Well, actually, he made the last one, right? And I don't know if that's enough to erase. It was only the one time that he really had the problems, but it was so bad he almost lost his life, they say. You know, there's other fighters that have put us through this. Johnny Hendricks, Calvin Gastelum, and they're just chronic weight. What's the word? Chronic weight neglectors. I don't know.
Weight steppers? Scale steppers? Scale steppers?
Scale steppers, line steppers. I don't know. Yeah, they just kind of put you through this. That's them, you know? And there's got to be a point, like Ghost says, where you mature, grow up, or just get it. You know what I mean? Because if she's done it before, that means she can do it again. And every single time you learn a little bit more about your body. And I believe that knowledge is to make it easier the next time. Or you know enough that you say, I'm never going to put my body through that, and now I have to move up, which she's done once.
Yeah, she
and
has.
she won. And
Yeah.
that's the thing, is she keeps winning, so she's a damn good fighter. But this is another level in the UFC. Now every single fight is going to be a tough challenge. There's not going to be, just another fighter that's got 2 fights, so do you. Let's get them together. No. Every fighter you fight, has some sort of experience that got them to the UFC. So this is it.
She's a official scale stepper. A scale stepper, George, 2 times for LFA and LFC, just for what that's worth.
Okay, that means she missed them both.
But I think she had a grappling tournament. She missed one of those.
Yeah, that was it too. That was the other thing I was thinking of.
It was in
Okay,
between all those.
yeah, that's right. Yep. Yeah, one of the fights was against Montana De La Rosa. Now Montana Stewart.
Kat weighed in early too, and she was on weight.
Yeah, nice,
So
nice.
Good for all the fighters, man. It's really nice to see. If I'm not mistaken, Orlando was pretty flawless, right? Or did somebody miss? Somebody may have given up 20%. Oh yeah. Alex Perez, I think, did.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and his was the one where he came in heavier. So I don't know what happened in the back. Maybe a quick sip of water that he thought he could get off, huh?
Did you guys watch The Embedded?
Yeah, there's 2 of them back to back, 4 and 5, and we made a quick cameo in 4.
Yeah, I only watched for the I only watched for the superstars in number 4. I'll catch up with tonight for my dessert.
So people have been saying, congrats, it's cool, you made it. Look, thank you very much. To be honest, Embedded has come by quite a few times, and we just haven't made the cut. They splice it up, and then at some point they go.
Have.
Did we?
Yeah, we've made it before, but we also countdown shows. We've done those too. But it's been a while.
We had met in Embedded. Okay.
It's been a while though.
But yeah, they've come in many times. In fact, I thought that was his own private little crew.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't even know it was Embedded until I started catching up on the Embeddeds and going, wait a minute, they're catching up with him. So that was them. But they really didn't have UFC attire or anything like that. I was thinking, Kat's been on Embedded. Why didn't they follow her? Not to say that, we needed to have her, be on as well. But I'm just amazed that they didn't follow her, because usually they follow them all on their rounds of media. She had the big man, Andrei Arlovsky. How about that little intense weigh-in with O'Malley and Sukumtha?
I feel like I may have had something to do with that.
Huh?
I feel like I may have had something to do with that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you told him to slap his wrist away or something like that?
Nah, I just asked him if he felt like all the shit talk coming from a Dana White Contender Series guy, if he's earned those stripes.
I see.
But when the tweet got put out by MMA Junkie, it was something like, go stirring shit up or something like that.
Oh, Dan, I think said that, right? Hey, but O'Malley, actually, both guys, I really like the way they've handled themselves.
Me too.
Me too. Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? They're edgy enough because you have to earn your stripes for most fans to go, look at this guy. Who's he think he is? He's just starting out. But I think they're doing it. This is the perfect card to do it, because the card's not really stacked.
Yeah.
And so therefore, they have a spotlight on them. So they're just edgy enough that they've really built up this fight. O'Malley's got the disco attire. Sukumtha is flashing, the gold chain, and they're creating a little bit of a ruckus there on the stage with Sean Shelby, the matchmaker. Man, I'm getting more and more into that fight.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say.
You're gonna remember him though, right?
Hell yeah!
Oh, you mean the guy?
Well, just the hair alone.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Yesterday, I was commenting on the hair. I don't know if it was on air goes or 2 off air, but I said he looked like Sideshow Bob with his hair, O'Malley. But then he has the disco attire, and our own Ben Folks tweeted brilliantly, "Disco Stew from The Simpsons." So I'm like, oh, he's making the rounds on all the Simpsons characters. How can you not be a fan on that? Disco Stew.
Yeah, Disco I like that guy, man. And I really like his style of fighting. He comes forward.
Yeah,
so
Danny.
They both have been on point, with what they want to deliver as far as the, not fronting too much, but at the same time letting everybody know, hey, I'm not the guy that's going to be punked here.
Good point.
O'Malley came, with a lot of those fighters like to lunge forward, and Sukumtha basically put that hand away, kind of what Connor did to Nate, except with a slap rather than a punch.
Except he hit except he hit Sean Shelby. If you saw the
on
replay,
the pectoral,
and Sean Shelby got pissed. You could see in his eyes, like it was that light up flare when someone hits you.
But he did get the hand, right? He get the hand, and both hands together went into the chest.
No, it looked like he missed him.
He missed completely.
He looked like he was out of reach to hit him, even if he wanted to, because Shelby got in really quick before.
Right.
By the time he reached a full chamber, Shelby's got an extension. So when he swings from his full chamber, he's hitting Shelby right here. While I think you've got Disco Stu's arm right about here. and yes, Sukumta just takes like Shelby's like bicep, and you just see Shelby like kind of look, hey, and like almost give like a Shelby, hey, back up.
Okay.
And all rights to Shelby. Shelby had every right to do that. You know what I'm saying? But
when Connor did it to Nate,
Nate
shook his hand out. If you look at different videos out there, Nate shook his hand out, but they were so busy with the pushing and shoving that I think everybody was focused on that. But then when it was either Dana's vlog or maybe one of them had maybe the Mac lab, I don't know, somebody had another angle, and you could see that as it happened, he kind of shook it out and looked at his hand because Connor actually socked his hand. In this case, Sukum thought it was more of a slap versus a punch.
Man, yeah, that was a lot of tinfoil hat stuff with that stare down, that Connor Nate one, because there was I was more the crowd that was watching Jake Shields. Remember, it was like, Jake Shields, look at the position he was in. It was staged, and there was those people talking like he was the Patterson footage, Jake Shields walking by the camera.
That was more of a Four Horsemen-esque. Whenever Gilbert, Jake, or Diaz's brother went in to a cage or a weigh-in,
that's the closest we've been to the Four Horsemen, in my opinion.
You think so?
Right? Or I mean, back in the day, the Shamrock's crew and all of them, I don't know if that was exactly four.
Well, like Brazilian Top Team had a couple good ones.
Yeah, I mean, they have enough of antics to them.
Yeah,
Strike Force Nashville, and then you have Nick and Nate at Elite XC. I mean, they've had their classic moments of giving the finger and throwing,
They did it in Hawaii with KJ. They did it in Nashville,
The Russians at WSOF.
This is the closest to the Four Horsemen.
This is like a holiday for these guys. This is something, this is an annual thing, This is.
How about just Nate confronting Caro? He was young in the sport, but he was like, man, I'm not going to take this. Because Carl was, I wouldn't say at his peak, but he was a very established veteran who kind of commanded respect. Google, do you know me, bro? Right? Isn't that what he said? Do you know who I am, bro?
You know who I am?
I think that was his big thing. We asked Carl about that once. I actually was thinking about Carl, like, how's he been or what's he been doing? But I asked him about that once, and he said, what I meant was, do you know who I am? I'm a passive guy, not a confrontational guy, as opposed to, do you know that I'm Carl Parisian, UFC welterweight superstar? So, too late to clear the air there, and we asked him 2 years later or a year later, but that day I remember people going, look at this guy,
I will say this. In person, he is very passive. You can talk to him about a lot of things
Carl?
that you would be, you think would piss him off, and he's real chill about it.
Fun fact.
Stitch has a good story about him. Carl.
With the dad, right?
Bring him in,
yeah.
Fun fact, Carl Parisian is my grappling lineage. I'm ranked under Neil Melanson. Neil Melanson, the only black belt ranked under Carl Parisian. Carl Parisian, of course, under Gokor, Trevichian, and Hayastan, Jean LaBelle, and that camp there were, Rousey. So it's a little history in that lineage there, as far as where the family trees reach to random.
So they're
places.
catch wrestling too, or is it judo combined with catch wrestling?
Gokor Trevichian is Russian, so he brought over more the judo and sambo. Because sambo and judo very similar, right? As far as their submission selections, the gi, the jacket, and where they're at, like geographically, where you'll find those martial arts. So that's kind of where that came from. And then of course you have Jean LaBelle, catch wrestling and judo, right? Old school back in the day. So those two styles have a lot of similarities, kind of melded together. And there's a lot of crazy stories from that gym if you find the right person. Or maybe if we get Neil back on the show, we can have him share some fun stories about that.
Does he have a belt series, Neil?
I don't know if he does anymore.
Well, he promoted Randy once, right? His black belt after a fight?
Yeah, he did. Yep. We should get him back on the show because I think he's relocating. He hasn't made it official, but he's going
Colorado, right?
Yeah, Colorado. I don't know what camp or whatever. Maybe it would be a good excuse to get him back on here. But he said he's going to get back to more teaching. And yeah, when he did teaching, he would rank us with essentially just be stripes that we could sew onto our shorts or whatever, and it wasn't like a salesman thing. Like if anything, Neil was anti that. Like he's a self-admittedly not the best businessman, but those are often the best martial artists. But it was weird because we compete in tournaments, but we didn't have the ranks, right, like jiu-jitsu guys. So it was more just of a sense in the community. That's why you guys will see some people like, I'm a black belt in Muay Thai if you read on their UFC.com stuff. It's because it's not the Muay Thai has belts. It doesn't, depending on what history you go by, Muay Thai doesn't traditionally have belts. But it's kind of a community thing, right? Everybody kind of took that from karate because it's just such a great model, whether it's business or where do you fit in the tournament. So yeah.
Now, so then you don't have an official rank or nothing like that, though.
Purple under Neil.
Okay, cool.
And
is it like jiu-jitsu? So you got a blue and a white already, or
catch wrestling? Yeah. So I had nothing for a while. Then I had blue, and then I had then he gave me the purple belt, and then he moved to Alliance by that time, And yeah, I still have it on.
Now
I still have
he's
it on my checklist. I still want to keep growing and under him, and go visit him, go get my butt kicked, show him that I can get my butt kicked maybe a little less every time I see him or something like that. But that's it.
And now he's in Colorado, reinvigorated, reassimilated, and finally he's relocated. Dan, tell the viewers about Yana Kunitzkaya versus Chris Cyborg. Give us the breakdown on this fight.
Man, it's funny. I think everyone's starting to get much more interested as it comes around, and so am I because of the line movement. Now, everyone's making a big hubbub to do that. It is the biggest underdog by the numbers, right? She's reached minus 2,000 favorite status, Cyborg, with the comeback being anywhere from -8 or plus 1,800 or whatever for Yana. The problem is Yana's actually much better than most of Cyborg's relevant in recent competition. Not all of them, but a lot of them. I don't want to name them to be rude, but the point of that statement is the fact that.
But not Holly, right?
Not Holly, right, no. But a lot of the other ones, and they weren't lined as high. So that doesn't, so there's a lot of interest there. And the fact that Yana Kunitzkaya has been training consistently. Her last fight was August, but she's been training consistently at Jackson Wink MMA since about, I want to say, October-ish, because she was a main training partner for Holly Holm for Cyborg. So she's just been constantly getting reps in. She's on the bigger side of 135 for people that don't know. So she as far as strength goes, she's really deceptively strong in the clinch. I think there's going to be a big ground disparity. That's where I'm picking Cyborg to win the fight. But as far as positives that maybe aren't being talked about, I think those are some of the things there. So now I think what we're seeing, I don't know if you guys are seeing, but a lot of people, and maybe it's it's good. I'm doing a little bit of it myself. There's nothing wrong with it, but a lot of people are going, could she be the one? Is this the underdog? Is this the next Holly Holm versus Ronda Rousey? And even though that's a bit of sensationalizing, I can see where it's coming from because, if Cyborg isn't careful, like I said, when you take these fights in short notice, guys, we did in our breakdown. Thank you guys for watching these video things we're doing. But I said tricky things can happen when fights come together short notice. Where was Cyborg at? She was traveling abroad when she accepted the fight. What's her shape like? She's had trouble making 145 before. So there, even though she made it this morning, obviously, but there's intangibles that we don't know about behind the scenes. So again, the odds don't necessarily reflect Yana Kunitzkaya's chances. I will say that.
If she were a featherweight who is taking this fight and not a bantamweight who is going up and facing one of the greatest fighters of all time, I would be a little bit more keen on saying perhaps this could be the one. But I still feel like even on Chris's bad day, not only should she win, she should still mop the floor with her.
So what round do you predict Chris in? We all have Chris, but what round?
1.
Dan Tom?
I have it. I think I had it officially 2 or 3, which is long for most people.
1, because of something that he brought up. I'm not too sure what she was doing, but she gets a nice payday.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to go with everything she has to get her out of there, because I don't know if she's going to have that gas tank to go 5 rounds.
Interesting. I also think 1 or early 2, but I think by 1 it'll just be the audience will know, the crowd will know that if the finish didn't happen now, it's coming. 5 minutes is quite a long time for a great 145er to be fighting a 35er that we really don't know much about. She had some success over at Invicta. I don't want to disrespect her, but against the highest ranked 35ers, much less 45ers, we really haven't seen. I think Evanger made it as high as 10, or maybe just past that. Who knows? Depending on what rankings you look at. But still, I think we're being generous. MMA is a sport where anything can happen. Another thing I wanted to say too is, yesterday I got caught up a little bit in telling people order the pay-per-view, and it kind of goes against earlier when I was saying I'm not ordering the pay-per-view. So I guess I should clarify: if you have the money, order the damn pay-per-view. You won't be let down because there'll be enough other great fights and great action. If you're one of those that you have to manage your money, then I respect anyone that doesn't. So I know that I thought about it. I thought about it hours after the show was over, but for some reason it clicked in my head that GG's kind of talking out of both sides of his mouth. And so I think that's the best way I can clarify it is, look, if you have the means, get it. I think it's quality entertainment. It's worth it for most people. If you have to manage or pick your spots, and this might be one you bow out of, or go to a friend's house. I don't know. But just wanted to put that out.
I agree. I think it's going to be a good card. But I honestly think the reason it's going to be a good card isn't so much the pay-per-view portion. I like some matchups on the undercard that I think are going to be fun.
Yeah.
Well, Caraway and Stamen, that on Fight Pass that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's Fight Pass used to. I think a lot of people thought Fight Pass was like SD Delivery Jones against Rene Goulet, something like that, and that does not appear to be the case.
I still want to see Dotson and Munoz. I mean, we were supposed to see that, we didn't get to.
It's a great
So
fight.
I'm into that. I don't have to pay for that. I don't have to pay.
And I always like Beneil Dariush fight, no matter who. I wish it was green, but it isn't. But I've always enjoyed him fighting.
Lombard's not going to bring it. I mean, Lombard's going to bring it, right?
Yeah.
We get to see Pyle for the last time. It's a good fight, good matchup. I mean,
oh man,
I honestly think this card's going to be a lot of fun. But a lot of the fun, I think, is going to come from the free portion.
Hey, fair warning to anybody sitting near me in the T-Mobile Arena if Mike Pyle wins. I'm going to be so obnoxious. Oh my goodness! I think I was there at when he beat not Spencer Fisher. What's his name? Sean Spencer. The Wonder Boy versus Hendricks card, and me and my best friend Brian and some of my other buddies, we were just as soon as it's hard. There's some guys where you can't. I know, especially now, you have to be more reserved about your biases and more in check with that. Especially with the work I do is picking fights. But there's some guys like Mike Pyle, man. It's hard to even on this show, some of my longest memories of the show is before his John Hathaway fight, giving the prediction of what he was going to do, going out and doing it, and giving that fun interview. Like, there's just so much guys like that have attached to the sport. You can't really deny it. It's hard.
So you're going as a fan?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
cool.
sir. Yes, sir.
You don't know this, but you may be sitting with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I might be obnoxious.
One more,
then.
because we do have Kevin Holland coming on, and he's coming on for some Junkie Karma. He's a Bellator fighter who's fighting tonight. And he knows we're 59-14, just over 80%. When it comes to these fighters doing the show on the day of their fights, so we are going to talk to him in about 7 or so minutes. Dan, how about a quick breakdown of Ortega and Edgar?
Oh man, I'm going to be clenching something this whole fight, however long.
Not me, because I'll be sitting next to you.
You might as well just tell us what you're clenching, because.
Probably my hamburger buns, to be honest, man. Right. This is gonna be sweating, and I won't even be betting this fight because it's one of those type of fights. But no, the pick here is Edgar. It's still tough. I still gotta see more, But then again, if Ortega submits Edgar, will we really be surprised? And at that point, he turns into a very scary individual, considering what he can do and who he's done it against, and no one's been able to check him, because I see Edgar and Holloway as being the tougher matches for Ortega in this division. So this is a real big tell for where Ortega's at, a real big litmus test. It could either be a prospect loss for him, right? Those prospect losses where everybody's got to take that first L sometime in the UFC, or it could be one of those spots where, wow, we should have seen this coming, Ortega winning. Why didn't we see this coming, guys? I think it's going to be one of those two things.
I think Edgar gets it done. I think only having 3 weeks to prepare for Edgar's not good.
Yes.
Even though in the embedded show, you see his coach saying, "Look, he just went like 7 or 9 rounds, 5 minutes, and he's not even breathing hard." But I'm sorry, that's not fighting. Also, Frankie Edgar. I can't believe they went that hard. Whatever they did with their cardio, it's not fighting Frankie Edgar. It's not getting punched or kicked or whatever, ground and pounded by Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar's pretty damn good at almost every single thing.
Everything.
And confident. I mean, he's giving all the right answers. He loves the fight. It's been a while. He figures if he can't beat this guy, then he shouldn't be fighting for a title. Or if he had fought for a title and beaten Holloway, then Ortega probably would have been next. So either way, he was on the schedule. It was just a matter of reversing things a little bit. Now he's a playoff game, and the Super Bowl's sometime this summer when Holloway's ready, versus playing the Super Bowl, and then I guess Ortega would have been part of his regular season schedule next time. I don't know. Yeah. But you can just tell, man, he's so confident in his skills. And think about the guys he's done battle with, I don't mean that to disrespect Ortega. He's got youth and all, but Frankie has evolved, and he's just tough and gritty. So
wrestling, yeah. Gray Maynard was tough, right?
Yep.
Striking, did it get worse than Jose Aldo? Right? I mean, Cub Swanson.
BJ Penn could box and grapple.
Jiu-jitsu. So he's seen it all. Mm-hmm. Brian Ortega, I think, is going to stand in front of him, and for the first round, probably be in awe of that footwork in and out, and the strikes and where they come from, and the combinations. A lot of guys aren't used to getting hit with combinations. He throws a lot of combinations. I think it's going to be a lot. I think he's going to be playing catch-up the whole fight.
George, I think you'll appreciate this. You know what movie I think about when I think about Frank Edgar's career? Because he's just one of those fighters. You mention it, and I'm thinking in my head. I think about Raging. I think about Raging Bull. I think about Raging Bull. Like when I'm thinking about, I picture Frankie Edgar as MMA's Robert De Niro against the ropes in the black and white with the smoke and Sugar Ray Robinson. Like he's that guy. Like he's always in these wars, and now when you actually sit back and look at the generations of guys he's beaten and he's still relevant, it's really, really crazy, man.
Yeah, Ortega has really turned the corner from being just a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu prodigy to an actual very, very decent striker.
Oh, yeah.
And imagine beating Cub Swanson the way he did, what that also did
to
raise his level of confidence, But is it all enough to beat Edgar? I don't know. I don't even know that with a full camp I would take Ortega. I think it's just on Ortega to prove me wrong. And once he does, who knows if I ever go against Ortega. I don't know. But regardless, you got to see it on Saturday. The pick for me is Edgar. Nothing's changed.
But he's a young, up-and-coming fighter, and Frankie Edgar hasn't dispatched one of those in a long time. Right?
No.
That's right.
That's right. He just did that.
He did.
He's done it quite a few times. He's ruined people's win streaks, giving people their first losses. He's done a lot. All right. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. We'll be back with Kevin Holland from Bellator. Also on the show today is Stephan Bonnar, UFC Hall of Famer. He'll be in studio, by the way, guys. He's not calling in. He'll be in studio.
Oh.
And last year's Ring Girl of the Year, Jenny Andrade, she'll be in studio as well. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM, Rush 93.
compassion, common sense. These guys have none of that. You listen to them, so you're no better. I am awesome, though. They are Gorgeous George and Goes.
The Jim Rome Show is now on SiriusXM weekdays at noon Eastern. Catch The Jungle and the rest of the CBS Sports Network on Channel 201 and on the SiriusXM app. Our show is also available on the SiriusXM app if you ever miss part of it or all of it. It's in HD quality and commercial free, so check it out. All right, our next guest, his name's Kevin Holland. They call him Trailblazer. He will be fighting at Bellator 195 versus Tegan Dooley. He is 10-3 overall. He joins us now on MMA Junkie Radio. Patch him in, please, Danny. What's going on, Kevin? How you doing?
Hey, doing pretty good with you, brother. How you guys doing?
Good, man. So you weighed in yesterday. You had your final fighter meetings. How are you going to occupy yourself here for the next few hours before it's time to throw down?
Oh, man, probably just chill, man. Nothing too much to do. Might go take a nap.
Oh, okay.
No stress.
Yeah, I was going to say, some people like the video games. Others like to take a nap. Some meditate. But it sounds like you just want to keep that heartbeat resting and save all the energy for later on.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I would love video games, but up here at the Windstar Hotel Casino, bro, they I don't really think it's my video game appropriate right now. So I'll just wait until I get home. Play an hour away.
What's your video game?
Knock them out quick. Go home. GTA, Call of Duty. It's just I don't think my TV's hooking up here. I don't know why, bro.
Got it.
All right. Well, Kevin, as we've explained to you, and I think your manager also let you know, Junkie Karma is for real. Fighters that do the show on the day of their fights are 59-14. So suck up that Junkie Karma, man. It really does come through. We've seen split decisions go our way. Not to say that your fight's going to go to a decision, because it looks like, if anything, when you look at your record, you are a finisher. But either way, you got some good vibes, some positive vibes being sent your way.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Let's make it 60-14.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys want to know what's one thing that's better than a knockout, right?
A first-round knockout?
Nah, an extreme knockout. It doesn't matter what round it's in, as long as it's extreme.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to bring up.
What's that?
Because if you look at his knockouts, they're not like they're pretty bad. Like, I mean, he's putting people to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And you think of a guy like Taiwan Claxton, what he did, right, in his Bellator debut.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask Kevin, do you have something already programmed in your head of what you're going to do to this kid?
Nah, bro, that stuff right there, when you program stuff in your head, it's very rare that it goes your way.
Mm-hmm.
So I just take it as it comes. You know, if my elbow touches him and he chooses to go to sleep, bless you to the elbow. If my hand touches him and he chooses to go to sleep, well, all praises to the hands. But if the feet touch him and he decides to go out, I like that too.
You know, here at MMA Junkie Radio, we've actually sung his praises a lot sooner than this, right? Because Dan and I were talking about before the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you're going to make a lot of waves in your division. Your division in particular, where would you say, just coming in from where you're at right now, how far do you feel that journey is to a title shot? And by when do you think you can achieve it?
Bro, Bellator, 185 division. Nothing bad against Bellator. I actually love Bellator. But the 185 division is just trash. It is completely trash. And really, that is for every organization around right now. So title shot, maybe a year and a half. I mean, it depends how fast they want to book my fights. You know, I'm good to go right now. I'd be good to go next weekend if they wanted me to, you know, or a month later. It does not matter. I'm from Texas. I'm from California. I've been in Texas for a while, but I fight in both states. So I know they probably got another California card coming up. I'd hop right on that, come back to Texas. I mean, they can just ping-pong me back and forth, and I guarantee you, in a year and a half, I'll have that belt around my waist. It wouldn't even be a stress getting it. It'd probably be a first-round KO, that fight.
What part of California?
Ontario, California,
Oh, okay.
IE. But
Yeah.
I'll take LA, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
We're from Southern California as well. We live
That's
in
why he
Vegas
likes
now.
GTA.
Yeah.
We'd be getting down in Ontario.
I put my clubhouse in rent for Cucamonga.
The other thing I was going to say was, I've never been the biggest fan of Rafael Carvalho. I mean, sometimes he looks pretty good, and then other times he really looks beatable. So I agree with Kevin there that division's one of the weakest. Okay, Bellator's got a stacked welterweight division. They have, you know, really good featherweights. Certain divisions are nice. That one is definitely one where young blood can go in there, you know, and get some wins, rack up some wins, and fight for titles. But don't forget, they signed Gegard Mousasi, Kevin. That's a tough matchup right there. I think you'd agree there. Did you overlook that one, or do you also not have too much faith in his skills?
I'm not worried about Mousasi. His good days are long behind him. His good days are long behind him in my eyes. The way I look at it is I'm getting better, and these guys are getting worse. So when it comes down to it, there should be nothing that stands in my way. And I've been wrong before. I do got 3 losses, but I usually beat myself. They usually don't beat me. And, the future going forward is a very promising future, and I'm doing things right these days. So when it comes down to Mousasi, he'll be like Mufasa falling off the bridge of the cliff, and I'll be the one to push him.
Kevin Holland, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. He fights tonight at Bellator 195, 10-3 overall. However, he's won 7 of his last 8, and all of them have been finishes. Dan Tom, our fight analyst, you got something for Kevin?
8, and it's 11-3. 11-3.
11-3. My bad. All right.
Yeah. They happen so quick. Sometimes they forget.
So, Kevin, I got to be honest, man. I got to watch a lot of footage, and not all the time I'm excited about it. And, when you have these names where I'm okay, let's get into some regional talent. Let's see who's coming up in the ranks, names I'm not familiar with. And every once in a while, I'm pleasantly surprised. Furthermore, I'll be studying one guy, Kevin, but I'll actually even be more impressed with his opponent. For me, you were that guy. Watching Jeff Neal, and even in your losses and shortcomings, I believe there are positives to take away. So, based on what you just said, saying you're doing things different since then, what are some of those things that you were doing different, say, than your win over Jeff Neal since 2017?
You know what? I used to not even take fight camp serious. I used to just go to the gym and be like, I'm naturally talented. I'm naturally good. I don't have to train. And so I basically was winning a lot of my fights off of my previous Kung Fu knowledge from doing Kung Fu, and then, some of the time I spent with Travis Luter. And then, of course, with Coach D, it's all nice, but I get lazy sometimes. But I haven't been lazy lately, and that's the difference. I actually understand that this is my career and this is what I want to do. So I show up to the gym. I go to get my striking. I actually hit the mitts. I hit the bag. I put in a little bit of hill work. I do strength and conditioning. It's like I'm back doing jiu-jitsu every day. I don't just go when I want to go anymore. I'm doing it sometimes 2 times a day, 6, 7 times a week. It just depends on who's down to train. I'm actually in the gym, and that's what I think is the scary part. What happens when I'm actually in the gym? What happens when I'm finally eating meal preps? What happens when I'm finally using my sponsors for all the right things and taking all these tools and going at it? Unstoppable. You're talking about a guy who accumulated a lot of wins with literally just getting off the couch and being like, all right, I fight this weekend. So,
all right, well, you convinced us, and we can't wait to see it tonight, man. Thanks for stopping by MMA Junkie Radio on the day of your fight. Good luck tonight, Kevin. Can't wait to see the fight.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys, and I appreciate the MMA juice.
All right, bud. You got it. Talk to you soon.
All right, guys.
All right, later. Quick shout-out to Oren Hodak for lining that one up. Go, give him a shout-out.
Hello, Oren.
All right, let's talk to Marco from Waco, Texas. He's been waiting, or he's number 1 in the queue. What's up, Marco? How you doing?
From Waco, ¿qué pasa, dudes?
¿Qué pasa, man?
Paso.
So I check out Below the Bell with Brendan Schaub, the new variety show on Showtime Sports, man. It's a pretty good show. I actually like it, man. I like it. Variety, funny. Whatever. You guys, not everybody's cup of tea.
Well, I saw it, and you know what it reminded me of was Ahmad Rashad used to have, like 30 years ago, a show about the NBA where he would stand there and talk about certain highlights.
That's my show.
And it wasn't that long ago.
Okay, maybe
it was in the morning,
Saturday morning, early 90s.
Something like that, yeah.
Young Dan Tom would watch
it kind of had a little bit of that feel to it. So I'll put it to you this way. I think it was 22 minutes long, so it's a 30-minute show. I don't know if there's commercials or what, but he kept my interest. I watched it, not just because I like Brendan and I wanted to support, but I honestly was entertained, right? There might have been like maybe 2 out of the 22 or 27 minutes where I thought, whatever. But for the most part, I mean, what show really is nonstop delivery other than ours? Mm-hmm. No, I think he's gonna have some success with it. He keeps on raising the bar for himself, and he keeps delivering, whether it's stand-up comedy or his own show, taking it on the road, or doing analyst work. So, good for him. Really, really happy for him.
Hey, how did you come across that, Marco? Just Googling Below the Belt, and you just happened to find out there was an MMA show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's hosting the Oscars this weekend, too. So.
Danny, come on at that point.
Deontay Wilder Ortiz this weekend, too. It's a good boxing match. And when it comes to the Kunitzkaya and Cyborg, I feel Kunitzkaya is that little goat with the being fed to the T-Rex in Jurassic Park again. And freaking, I keep wondering what the hell happened to Megan Anderson, man. I mean, we talk about Megan Anderson getting dispatched, the true 45er, then she got her visa issues, and we're talking about this girl since July. She said she fixed her visa issues. She got hit with Chris. Chris and her management doing those comments about her, turning her into freaking the immigration and stuff. They got hit. Well, what happened? Why did they offer the fight to this girl? And that's just me. Peace out, guys. Enjoy the fight.
See ya. Oh, trust me, man. If she, so we heard visa issues and we heard personal problems, right? But it sounds to me like something to do with an actual work visa, because she lives in Kansas City, if I'm not mistaken. I always see her doing her preview shows with Laura Sanko. I imagine that if she was ready to go, they would prefer to have Megan Anderson, versus Chris Cyborg. They had to get to Kunitzkaya because they had to rescue this card, and I guess Nunes wasn't ready to go. Remember, that was going to be a fight at one point. Anyway, my point is, she's just probably not ready to fight, and I don't think it's a health issue.
I'm having fun with it. I'm not turning into a hater with it, but I am having fun. I imagine that she has some type of outstanding, like Mad Max level, traffic tickets. Like she was Mad Max over in Australia, and the warrants were so outstanding that they followed her and something. But it's probably nothing that cool.
What the hell is that? A lot of people talk about there being heat between those two, and I think it's all one-sided. I honestly don't think Chris Cyborg cares. Mm-hmm. I think she sees that nice paycheck that she was getting from the UFC, and she honestly doesn't care on the other side of that.
Nevada releases salaries too, so I bet you we'll see a $500,000 check up front plus pay-per-view cuts, and who knows what she was able to negotiate for stepping in late. But I still can't get over the fact, not that I was hoping, or not that I thought she wasn't going to, but her making weight and doing it so easily. I mean, she's really turned a corner.
Yeah.
Congrats to Chris on that. One more. Showtime from Tennessee. It's your time. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
Showtime.
Hey, I was watching, did everybody make weight? I was looking at it. I was waiting on Mackenzie Dern to make weight. Did she ever come out and make weight, or you guys weren't paying attention?
Well, she's got 13 minutes to do it, but we will take a look and see if she did or didn't.
Yeah, I think that's going to be an issue with her. She needs to slim down a little bit if she's having this part of an issue making weight. I know she missed weight before. So
okay, here it is.
Good.
Here it is.
Yeah.
She made it 116 for her. So she's good to go. I don't see anybody that missed. Hold on, let me scan it right quick. And it all looks pretty good. Yep, everybody made weight, including the title fight.
Okay. Great. That's great, man. That's the only thing that that kind of scares us dealing with these cards, man. People having to cut so much weight, and then once they make weight, you got your fingers crossed that nothing happened. The night before the fight, where they have to pull out. But you know what? I think it's going to be a sneaky good card, man. I mean, people really not giving this card a bunch of props, kind of like the card last weekend that ended up being a good card. I think I got the same feeling about this one.
On paper, it just doesn't match up with other good cards. People are entitled to their opinion, and they should voice it. The UFC needs to know that on paper, this does not look like the one in New York, nor the one on Detroit. Now, that said, say your piece, be respectful about it, and choose to either not order or not go or whatever. But know this, the UFC product and most MMA cards will still give you your money's worth one way or another, because new stars can be born, or other fighters fight, like mid-tier fighters fight like superstars, or you just have that slobber knocker fight, and that's the beauty of the UFC and MMA. So therefore, a lot of times when you're on the fence, you may just want to do it. But yes, star power, whatever gets you in the door, whatever gets people to these viewing parties or whatever, it's not there, and the UFC has to realize that, and I'm sure they do. So I think it's very fair when people criticize it like that. Now, again, come Monday, we'll see how it went. All right, and yeah, that's it. That's my piece. All right,
yeah. Hey, man. All right, guys. You have a good one.
No, say what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
everybody talking about Frankie Edgar, man. I like T-City, man. I think this kid is special, man. So
Double or
I
nothing,
might double down
Chipotle?
on T-City.
Yeah, Chipotle, bet.
Double or nothing?
Double or nothing. Hey, I'll be there this weekend. So we can do Chipotle on Sunday, go.
Just me or just Goes or me too? I mean, I guess you don't need two Chipotles, so I'll get you something else.
Both of you guys.
Yes, I love sucker bets. All right, cool. Thank you, man.
All right.
All right, see you.
All right, man.
Let's go to commercial. When we come back, we'll take some more calls. 866-522-2846 is the number to call in. Stay close.
Tell your boss to reschedule that meeting. Call your wife and tell her lunch is off. It's time for more MMA Junkie Radio with Gorgeous George and Goes.
Start your day with SiriusXM. Enable the SiriusXM skill on your Amazon device and then tell Alexa to set an alarm for your favorite channel, and you'll wake up to the sounds of SiriusXM. With SiriusXM and Alexa, you can get the latest sports news each morning without picking up your phone or turning on the TV. Let's talk to Scott from Utah. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's up, boys?
Hi.
Scotty.
Hey, guys, man, fucking Showtime, man. He fucking stole my thunder. I was about to say the exact same thing he said.
Chipotle too?
Give me a Chipotle.
If I'm down there, I'll get you guys one, but I think Ortega's got it, man. He's got the reach advantage on the feet. And is Edgar going to take him down? Because that's like doomsday down there, man. I mean, can Edgar win a fight if it's just standing? Because I can't see Edgar taking him down.
I think Edgar will take him down at the end of the round.
BJ Penn took him down and it wasn't doomsday. Cub Swanson and
Ortega's got the
Cub Swanson and my man, what's the Mexican kid?
Yair Rodriguez.
Yair Rodriguez had length on him, and that didn't seem to stop Frankie.
Edgar's had trouble.
They don't get the jiu-jitsu. Ortega does.
How about this? How about try this one on for size then, Scott? Look at everybody that Frankie Edgar has had trouble with. What's the one common thread? Frankie has had trouble when he couldn't wrestle guys. He's fine striking with many types of guys. You can go through the list. I mean, he's been caught by Gray, or heavy-handed guys. No shame there. Up a division, he's even small for 45. No shame there. But you look at it, he's really only had trouble when he couldn't wrestle guys. He's actually okay when he has to stick.
And Aldo wasn't really a takedown defense wrestling guy per se. It was his athleticism that kept him off the feet versus like him fighting another wrestler, who has those types of skills.
Well, Aldo's is one of the best defensive fighters.
Aldo's speed did give him trouble, but Ortega doesn't have Aldo's speed
or power or counteracting.
Again, it's. I mean, look, he hasn't fought since May, so okay, he hasn't fought in 10 months. Does that offset Ortega only having a 3-week camp? I don't know, man. Scott, the bottom line is anything can happen when skilled fighters meet, but I don't see it, man. Frankie hasn't shown us like he's lost a step. And he just keeps getting better and better. He seems to have very decent game plans, with the exception of Aldo. I think a few things could have maybe. We should have talked to that with Mark Henry, to be fair, about why it seemed like there weren't adjustments made.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that. That was one of the questions I wanted to ask.
But I already felt like a jerk for saying, "Hey, you were crazy for thinking Connor."
Let's bring up a performance.
I thought I could phrase that one a little bit better. He's such a nice guy, and I definitely don't mean to disrespect him, because I respect him a lot and his skills and his team. So, yeah, we just ran out of time, too.
I will say, too, Scott, I agree with you, Scott, as far as it's a bad move. But as far as what's he going to do, I will say this. Make with it what you will, but Edgar opted not to bring his wrestling coach out here. So that tells me he's probably not looking to do much wrestling. So it could be either good or bad, depending on how you want to look at that, Scott.
Standing up, then, huh?
I think that's what they're going to try to do.
Is it 3 or 5 rounds?
3.
3, just 3. Okay, so maybe he could do it. But, man, I hope he doesn't take him down, because, man, he locks that stuff up fast. Ortega does. So submissions.
Yep.
So, all right, guys, thanks.
All right.
Easy,
Scott. Yeah. All right, folks. So, 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. 9 hours down this week, 1 hour to go. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM Rush 93. When we come back, American Psycho should be here in studio with us. Should be around. I'll get an update from him on that. He is a stand-up comedian this weekend. We'll tell you more about that when we come back. And we will close the show with the beautiful Jhenny Andrade, the 2017 Ring Card Girl of the Year, according to the World MMA Awards. And by the way, speaking of, what happened to the World MMA Awards this year?
Didn't they announce it?
I don't know. It was supposed to be this weekend, and it didn't. And we have to go to break, so we'll talk about it when we come back.
Boom.
se despierten con la luz de tu mirada. Yo a Dios le pido que mi madre no se muera y que mi padre me recuerde. A Dios le pido que te quedes a mi lado y que más nunca te me vayas, mi vida. A Dios le pido que mi alma no descanse cuando de amarte se trate, mi cielo. A Dios le pido por los días que me quedan y las noches que aún no llegan. Yo a Dios le pido por los hijos de mis hijos y los hijos de tus hijos. A Dios le pido que mi pueblo no derrame tanta sangre y se levante mi gente. A Dios le
Danny Olkers from Automatic 253. I think you could do it. Start the song by going, this is for all my Latinas out there, and you give them a big wink, swivel your hips, and start singing.
You imagine walking in and seeing him doing that, going, what the hell?
Shout out to Mark Balulo in the YouTube chat. Same goes for BLT, Green Island Dispensary, Green Island Craft Dispensary. Victory of the People's in there as well, as is the Human Moron.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joey Margaret is in the chat.
How you doing?
Full-time toilet cleaner is in the chat. And that does it. All right, that's it. Joining us now is UFC Hall of Famer Stephan Bonnar. What's up? How you doing?
What's up, fellas?
Good to see you.
Which one of those names did you like?
Which one? Sorry I'm late. I know I'm supposed to be here at 11. It's 11:01.
Yeah.
Do you like the name for a chat room? BLT, the Human Moron. Where's the toilet cleaner? Which one was that guy?
Full-time toilet cleaner. Out of those three, which one do you like?
Which one would you be?
Honestly, I kind of like the toilet cleaner, but it reminds me of a job I used to have. I worked in a strip club, right? Oh, no. That's a different job. No, I was a head custodian at Adult Video Arcade. Could we technically be allowed in that chat room?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that one.
So how you been, Stephan?
I can't complain. Shout out to Rudy Morales. He just won his fight in Smash Global Wednesday. I hosted the event. It's pretty cool. Mel Gibson was there.
Really?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, there were a couple celebrities. Higa Machado, Lifetime Achievement Award, but
I like Rudy.
Fucking made my ass out of. I made an ass out of myself in front of Mel Gibson. So embarrassing.
How can you tell us how that happened?
All right, so I announced the first fight, right? And I just have a question for the promoter. It was about what fights you want the face-offs for. The co-main event, the main, all of them, where I hold the mic and we do the face-off. So I go, the promoter's sitting right next to Mel Gibson. So I'm like, shit, I don't want to scare Mel. So I kneel down like this. Hey, Steve, man, little question for you. All of a sudden, a chick walking by fucking trips over my leg. Falls, drink goes flying, face plants right in front of Mel Gibson. I'm like, oh, what do I do? I didn't feel like it was my fault, so I'm helping her up, and then Mel Gibson stands up all pissed, walks off.
No, really?
Yeah.
That was way worse than. You would have been better off just.
Yeah. No. Yeah, this guy is smart.
How was the chick?
I understand.
How did she react to it? Because did she kind of? Sometimes they get embarrassed, but sometimes they play the part of you asshole, that sort of thing.
Super embarrassed.
Oh, makes it worse.
I know.
Wouldn't you rather just her say you asshole? When it's embarrassed, then you feel even worse.
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
It'd be easier if you just went, you asshole.
You're right.
So, Stephan, you got a lot going on. When you and I chatted a few years ago, I know you were waking up early and doing the stock market, and then I've seen you doing pro wrestling as of late, and now I'm hearing you're going to be telling jokes. You're going to be stand-up comedian.
That's right. That's tonight, Sophia, 7 o'clock. 3500 West Naples, but everyone could look it up nowadays, right?
702-982-6777.
Yeah.
If you want to call for reservations, you can check out Stephan Bonnar in action.
Or just show up there. Locals get in free. Free limo, too. If group of guys, let's go see that. Call them up. They'll send the limo for free. So, laughs and titties.
Can't beat that.
Doors open at 6. The show starts at 7. Who talked you into this one? Or is it just something you wanted a bucket list?
Yeah, exactly. Been on the bucket list. And Jeff, a guy I know who works for Hustler, he's been promoting this comedy show. He's like, hey, you ever thought about doing stand-up? It's like, yeah, I thought about it, Well, here's your big chance. Come do it. F it. All right. Let's do it.
Do you have a style of comedy? Because, like, you've always been a great storyteller. When we ask you for the street fight stories, I mean, you always deliver. So is your method, like, storytelling, or is it, like, rapid fire, self-deprecating, or?
You know what? That's all I'm going to do. Like, I can't memorize a bunch of jokes and tell them. My short-term memory's gone. You know, it's been punched away. It really has. It's sad. You ever see the movie Concussion?
Yeah.
Will Smith, he sounds so intelligent. He's this African, oh my God, running as fast as you can, putting your head down and smashing into people at 20 miles an hour for 10 or more years probably isn't good for your brain. Right? Did it really take a doctor to figure that out?
True that.
No, it didn't.
Yeah. So getting hit in the head on a regular basis for 10 or more years also probably isn't good for you.
You know, when you would do Q&As and stuff, especially at the, what is it called? Not the summit, but what the UFC does once a year.
The Expo.
The Expo.
What they used to do once a year, and I'd freaking cash out on that, but now Reebok came along.
You were awesome at it, and what you were really good at was observational, just pointing people out and cracking
and making fun of them.
Yeah. You do something like that? I think you're awesome at that.
I mean, I got a lot of Tito material. But yeah, and telling stories, because I can't remember, just like pro wrestling. You know, I had a couple short matches and tag teams and whatnot. Easy, no problem, right? In Montreal, what was it? ICW. Anyways, I had a 20-minute match, and we rehearsed it a million times backstage. I go out there, getting 5 minutes into it. What do I do? Put him in a choke. What do I do? You know, pick him up. What do I do? Yeah, whole time. So it's going to be the same way. So I'm just going to look to and tell stories and make fun of Tito.
Will this be your debut, Stephan, or have you done it before? Right?
No, this is my debut.
Oh, very
good. So I don't even know what my style is. Who knows?
Do you anticipate nerves, or are you kind of like, do you have feel like you have a good stage presence because of all the sports you've done and sports entertainment you've done?
Yeah, but you're definitely nervous, and I'm a sweaty motherfucker. I'm sorry. What about cussing on here?
You can do
it.
Yeah,
you can cuss.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a sweaty motherfucker. Like, look at now. Well, I had to run out of my car to get here by 11. But when when the Smash Global, that was the MMA show the other night, I tripped that chick and all embarrassed. Mel Gibson runs off and I'm all embarrassed. I start sweating. Now I'm going back. I got a suit on. And I'm like, and there was a guy there, another prominent actor. And, he's all tie and all that, bundled up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, fuck, I'm so hot, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, looks at me and goes, well, I'd be sweating too if I had some cocaine, hint, hint, hint. It's like, man, I don't have cocaine. I'm just sweating. It was served a great purpose when I was fighting. It's easy. But now it serves no good purpose. Everyone thinks I'm on cocaine. And I'm not. I'll take a piss test and pass it for a change to prove it.
George,
I'm really not.
Test too.
What's that? I am a sweaty bastard, man. And you know when I sweat the most is when I have a tedious task. Like, I'll give you an example. If somebody were to go, hey, hook up your computer to the TV so we can all watch, and then I just kind of get back there. So it's not like my heart is racing. It's not like any athletic performance is happening. But I'm just trying to screw something in, and all of a sudden, dude, the beads of sweat just start dropping. And then I start thinking about it. I go, holy shit, I'm a sweaty bastard. Stop sweating. And it gets worse and worse. I mean, so much comes out that you would think I lost 10 pounds just in trying to put something in and lift this and tie it this way. It's the worst thing.
You guys are saying sweaty bastard, but I usually say like sweating like a pervert in church. Is there a difference to that kind of sweat, or how do we break this down?
I don't think the pervert in church is sweating. I think he's I don't know. I'm just a sweaty bastard.
He's probably jerking off.
Stephan, do you still stay in touch with the sport, or have you just completely focused on it?
No, I have. I podcast The Final Round with Matthew Holt, who's the VP of CG Sports, really sharp guy. And then also been working with Betting Kings. It's a sports investment firm. So it's like, most bookies and odds makers will sell their picks, like maybe a couple $100 a month, or like $50 a play, something like that. So it's like $99 a month, and we use artificial intelligence and like focus groups for each sport. So I'm part of the MMA team, and each week we have a team group of us, an odds maker, and we break down the fights and narrow it down to the top couple picks.
What's it called?
And, Betting Kings.
Betting Kings. Oh. All right.
Yeah, and it's run by made up by Wall Street people and run by them, former Wall Street people. So it's got that perspective when it comes to sports betting. So it's all about risk management, and every day you get an alert. Oh, here's the plays for today. And like the other day, it was like soccer in the Netherlands, and the day before it was like a couple NCAA plays. So. Each day you don't know what it is. You don't have to watch the game. You just get an alert. You go and check it. Here's the play. Then I open my CG Sports app. Boom. Make the bet and forget about it. Next day I look at my account. Oh, cool. It'll, hit.
That sounds badass.
Yeah.
And, hey, if you do it for a month and you don't make money and aren't satisfied, they'll double your money back. And no other odds maker's going to do that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
like
cutting-edge stuff.
All right, Stephan Bonnar, UFC Hall of Famer, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. He will be performing at Sophia's Gentlemen's Club as a stand-up comedian. It's his comedy debut, and the doors open at 6 p.m. The show starts at 7. It is tonight. Also performing will be Melvin Washington Jr., Marcus J., Anton Knight, and Jeremy Flores. Are you the headliner or like a?
I'm the host.
You're a host, okay.
And Adam Hunter will be there. If you all know Adam, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Hopefully, if I'm really bombing, he'll come and save me.
Well, I've seen a few MMA fighters go out there and do their thing, and they've actually hung tough.
Dean Thomas did well.
Yeah.
Dean Thomas, Tyron Woodley, Frank Mir, the young lady that's kind of talking about unions, Leslie Smith. She's done it.
Oh, wow.
Trig even did it.
Yeah, well,
that was different.
That one didn't go as well. But Stephan's a really hilarious guy, especially if it's in the form of storytelling. But see, he's hosting, so I think that's a good way to get your feet warm, just to see if you want to continue.
And also, I only have to remember like a couple stories. Go up, tell these 2 stories, and then introduce someone. But I'll forget the person's name. I just know it.
Nah, you won't. You'll be fine, man. Sophia, where is Sophia's? Tell me about it. Let me see. The address is 3500 North West Naples.
It's like the 15-inch drop. Right
there you go.
Vanderlei's old gym. The old.
Very close.
Back in the day. Yeah, probably.
Who do you like this
lost
weekend?
A lot of brain cells in that gym.
Cyborg's a slam dunk. What about Edgar and Ortega?
I got to do a little more research, but Frankie's the man. As long as it isn't a title shot, I bet on Frankie every time. So
true.
Oh, wait, is this for some sort of interim title I don't know about?
No.
Awesome, Frankie.
No, Frankie. He was going to challenge Max Holloway for the undisputed title. Holloway had to pull out, so these guys are only going 3 rounds. The headline bout is for the world title.
Who do you give the wrestling advantage to?
Frankie Edgar.
Me too.
I think I'll do it at the end of the rounds just to kind of cement that.
Yeah, it's close round, get a takedown. Yep, them dirty wrestlers. That's the oldest trick. Well, it beats Chael. Just taking the guy down at the beginning of the round and holding on for dear. I never heard fans start booing in the first round through the remainder of the fight before. Last 2 fights.
You know, it's amazing when it comes to booing. Him and I went to see Floyd Mayweather fight because it's just got to be kind of on your bucket
list. With Conor?
No, this was
Robert Guerrero.
People were booing pretty much the whole fight, but people were leaving the fight in like the 7th round. They were just leaving.
And it was mostly Mayweather fans. And it caught me by surprise. I thought they were going to back their guy all the way to the end. But what happened was Mayweather showed he was superior to Guerrero. And all he had to do was maybe turn it on. And he was already kind of hurting Guerrero. Yeah. And he could possibly get the finish. And when he didn't do it, I think the fans were like, that doesn't sit right with me. You're basically coasting to the finish line. And they booed him really, really bad.
Wow. Were you guys at the Pacquiao fight?
No.
The best was Floyd wins, and then he climbs up on the second rope. He's at home, right? Boo! They booed the shit out of him. Oh, man. But he made it up to us with Conor by giving the first 4 rounds away. Lovely strategy.
Stephan, now, as a host, you won't really have to endure any sort of the hecklers or anything like that? Because Goes was saying, you do strike me as someone that can check a heckler quickly.
I might have to deal with that.
But that's more of the comedian thing, right? Or
who knows? There's always some drunk guy. Oh, yeah, I can cuss. Junk fucker in the audience. Boo, you suck. Always. Everywhere, you know. So there might be that guy here tonight. And if there is, I'll say, hey, man, you think you could do better? Well, why don't you come up and give him the mic and then just kick the shit out of him?
There you go.
What would you do, heckler?
I would go, I'm sorry, sir. Oh, what would I do, the heckler?
Yeah.
I thought it was, if I was heckling Stephanie told me that.
Oh, I know what you would do.
I'd be like, no, we're good. To a heckler, if I was standing up there, I'd say, you're putting me on the spot. I don't know. I guess I would prepare for the hecklers, but I always feel like the guy with the mic is the one that has the louder presence. So something along the lines of a mom joke. I mean, that, you know, those are hard to fail, but I don't know.
You got a lot of those, huh? Your mama's so fat. I don't. I've learned a couple over the years, but like I said, the memory.
What's your best your mama joke?
I don't really have them.
You have one?
No, I'm not very much your mama joke, but I imagine Stephan. I don't know what I'd do at heckler, but I imagine like a fighter, for example. You guys would be itching because it's probably the same guy that heckles. It's probably the same guy at the fights that goes, "Kick his ass, Seabass." You know, that guy that yells that over and over again.
Just bleed guy.
Yeah,
you know,
yelling leg kick when they're on the ground and crap. So you actually get to dig into those guys now, right?
Yeah, that guy will probably be at the strip club saying that to the strippers, "Just bleed."
Oh, jeez. Whoa. Oh, my God.
Did you put yourself out there that you wanted to do this, or did someone come to you and say, hey, I think you'd be good at this?
No, I put it out to the universe. I'm going to sound like, you know, one of those hippie dorks. Yeah.
Like, in other words, did you approach Adam and go, hey, I think I can do that? Or did he tell you, I think you
can
do that? How did this come about?
I sat there and I went to see Adam a bunch of times and saw other fighters do it. And, no, I never said anything.
Who are comedians that make you laugh? Like, what's the style that you like?
Let's see.
How about we throw some out? You tell us.
Yeah.
Chris Rock.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Louis C.K.? Two different styles, right? Like, which one would you more gravitate to?
Probably Chris Rock.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I could see him doing
See, I'm bad with names.
You like
who's the Australian guy?
Oh, Jim Jeffries?
Yes.
That's awesome.
He is good.
He said, like, Forrest loves that Anthony Jeselnik, you know? And it's all this, like, child molestation, rape jokes. Yeah, me personally, gonna stay away from those type of jokes.
that's what the
I
line
like
is.
Jeffrey approach. I could see that.
Honestly, I am incapable of raping someone, right? If I'm, like, raping someone, girl, oh, no, it's like, like, you can't do it, you know? It just needs to be into it. I'm insecure. Are you enjoying this? You better be.
Sebastian Maniscalco is the one that I like. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
It's Chicago. He's from Chicago. He's got an Italian vibe to it. But it took me a while. At first, he was just so demonstrative. I mean, like, I thought he was, you know, he was like, I don't know. He was putting it out there too much, you know. But then I got into his shit.
I probably like
Pretty
him.
funny. You would like him.
I do that. I'm like Jim Carrey a little.
Yeah.
Overactor.
And so the plan is to host and then possibly have your own set going forward, or leave it at hosting. What?
You know, everyone I've talked to says, "Oh yeah, you'll be good at it. Just give it a couple of years." So I don't know. You know, like, yeah. All I'm gonna go out there with that attitude is like, if I bomb, who cares? Just try it again. You know, I sucked my first fight. I still got the win, but you know, compared to later, right? No, like anything in life.
I think that's what separates you from a lot of people. I think a lot of people, they bomb the first time, that's it. That's what makes you who you are. You're able to come back and
set your expectations low. I expect to bomb. So.
I've always wanted to do it, and I just don't think I have the courage. But guys like him motivate me to just try it and fail, because I think life is about the failures, honestly. You know what I mean?
Oh, shut up, you hippie.
If everything was successes, is like you wouldn't learn from it. So I you know, to go up there and get booed or hissed or whatever would probably wind up being a good story here.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
People are getting hissed nowadays?
Well,
yeah, people hiss.
Like, if there were a crowd, like, hissing, I wouldn't even be upset about it. It must have really been awesome.
Stephan Bonnar, UFC awesome. Hall of Famer, our guest here in studio with us. He's performing at Sophia's Gentlemen's Club.
Any other big fights that you're looking forward to? on the card?
Yeah, well, those young cats, man.
Because the Cyborg main event squash match.
You know what? I really am looking forward to Dodson versus Munoz, Caraway versus Stamen.
Oh yeah,
some bantamweights.
Munoz.
Mike
Pyle's final fight.
All right, cool. I'll have to tune in.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to anyway.
This is his last fight. I think he's 43 years old. Did I hear that right?
Probably, right?
Sounds about right.
Wow.
His first fight was an 0-1 against Rampage.
Yeah. You know how he described it? As a shoe in a dryer. Just thrown around the cage.
That's awesome.
I think his first fight was John Fitch, wasn't it? And then Rampage? I think it was Rampage's first fight. Not to be all technical and shit. But I bring it up because he's a fellow Boilermaker like Stephan.
John Fitch just signed with Bellator, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know, I know for a fact Fitch's first fight was Mike Pyle.
Okay.
Fitch just signed with Bellator?
Yesterday.
Oh, they got Chael as well.
Chael, I think they got Tito for another 30 days. They got Rampage. You know, they've made their fair share of signings as of late.
Chael and Fitch on the same card.
Oh, man.
Everyone leaves their seats.
Stephan Bonnar, our guest here on MMA Junkie Radio. And of course, Cyborg gets the job done, right?
I got to watch the other chick a little more. But from her highlights, she looks all right. Yeah. But Cyborg just overwhelms them, you know? Just overwhelms them. Although, on the Evinger fight, I bet the over, and it hit it like plus 250. Woo!
Nice.
Very cool. The one in Anaheim, right? Anaheim, California, I think for UFC 214.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I just watched
I was there for that fight. I also thought Cyborg was going to get rid of her early, but no, man. Evinger was tough.
Hell yeah. Me and Matt Holt both bet that. We had the podcast. He's the guy who's the odds maker at the Palms and a bunch of sports books. And anyways, we had both bet that. He had a bet going with Kenny Florian, right? And if he won, then Kenny comes on our show. So we were going nuts when someone was recording us when halfway through the second round, woo-hoo-hooing and high-fiving, and Kenny welched on that bet.
He still hasn't done it?
Nope. And I even hit it up. When you coming on the show, Kenny? Nothing.
Nah, he's got to own.
Yeah.
He's got to
own
own up.
Season 1, Kevin.
Got it.
Season 1.
A bet's a bet. Folks, you can follow Stephan on Twitter at Stephan Bonnar. And again, tonight, the doors open at 6. And the jokes start flowing at 7. That's what time the show starts. The address is 3500 West Naples Drive.
Naples
in Las Vegas. Very close to the Strip. Just a little bit off the Strip. But
the 15-inch drop.
In the middle of the Strip. For reservations, it's 702-982-6777.
Or a free limo.
That's right. Stephan Bonnar will be the host there tonight. Is that 782 or 762? Boy, I need to get my eyes checked. 782.
That's 982.
982, yeah. 982-6777, yeah. It does say that. It does say, let me see, offer not valid when arriving in a cab or rideshare. So maybe you could give them a call and see what's up. A lot of these places do have limos for you, but you can check out Stephan Bonnar as the host tonight. Stephan, thanks for stopping by, my man.
Thanks for having me. It's always fun.
Always a blast. I hope all's well with you, and we'll see if we can get out there and check it out.
And you're sweating a little, George. Lay off the cocaine, my
friend. Sorry, man. Sorry. All right, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk to Jhenny Andrade, the 2017 Ring Card Girl of the Year. It's MMA Junkie Radio on Sirius XM, Rush 93.
They pat down TSA agents because they don't know where those people have been, and because they can. They are Gorgeous George and Goes, and this is MMA Junkie Radio.
The Jim Rome Show is now on SiriusXM weekdays at noon Eastern. Catch The Jungle and the rest of the CBS Sports Network on Channel 201 and on the SiriusXM app. All right, folks, we are coming down the home stretch of another fine edition of MMA Junkie Radio. We do this show 2 hours a day, live from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino Sportsbook. Come on by and pay us a visit if you're ever in town. The show starts at 10 a.m. And bring that camera because you never know who will be in studio with us. Today we had UFC Hall of Famer Stephan Bonnar join us in studio. And now we turn our attention to the 2017 Ring Card Girl of the Year, Jenny Andrade. Hello, Jenny. How are you?
Hi, my friends. Good to see you again.
You too. Yeah. And you got the trophy there.
I'm so happy to be here again. Thank you so much, the Goose, George, and my new friend, Dan.
Thank you. Thank you.
1 year ago today.
Yes, 1 year ago today.
Congratulations.
I'm so happy and excited to be here in Las Vegas the same day I won.
Yeah, that was a lot of people were very happy for you. A lot of people that listened to our show, Junkie Nation, voted for you.
Oh, I know. Thank you so much for all the fans in MMA Junkie. Thank you for the voltage for me. And maybe next year, this year, I will try again, but I don't know.
Did they already do the nominations for this year? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
maybe change the date.
Yeah, they changed the date for the show. It was supposed to be this weekend in conjunction with UFC 222, but looks like they're postponing it to later in the year. We don't know officially, so check it out. From what we hear, Fighters Only World MMA Awards will have a show this year. We just don't know the details, but we'll see if we can catch up with Rob Hewitt and maybe get an update on that. I'm sure you'll be nominated again.
Oh, thank you.
The fans love you. You do great work as a ring card girl and as an ambassador for the UFC in Brazil.
Thank you so much. I love my job. I love my fans. I love talk with my fans on Twitter, on Instagram. I like so much, and I'm so happy with my work. And now I have a new job.
What's the job?
My second job, UFC, and now I'm ambassador of the Bulldog site of the bets.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I came to Las Vegas to better understand about all the games, about basketball, about poker, blackjack.
You need to talk to Sammy the Squid.
Really?
He's a professional gambler.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
Do you play? Really? In Bulldog too? Oh, nice!
Yeah.
And then now I have a lot of work to do. And now to play all the games, to talk with the players, to understand about all the games.
I know you came last year for the big football contest. You
yes.
Was it the Sharks, or what was the name of that team?
I finished in 5 ranking.
Oh, okay.
My name in 5. I don't know.
5th place?
Rank.
Yes.
Overall, or just the team?
Just my team.
Oh, just the team. Did you beat John Anik?
Yes.
Wow. So
John Anik. Oh my God, Jenny.
John Anik. John Anik is obviously the UFC play-by-play, and basically there's this big contest here in Nevada, in Las Vegas. It's called the Super Contest, right? It's as simple as that. It's been going on for years, and all of the top players in the world pay $1,500 or get sponsored in, and you make 5 football plays in the NFL. Caesar Squid, is it sides and totals or just sides? Just sides. And so it's a big deal here, to win something like that. And last year Jenny was here in town, and I guess John is part of a team, and they invited Jenny to be on the team, and Jenny's telling us she did better than John.
Yes. In August.
In August. Are you going to be on the team again?
Maybe. I think so.
Yeah.
I want.
Do you like watching American sports like basketball, right? Over here we have UNLV basketball. Have you ever been to a game?
When I come to New York, I watch the basketball, and this is so funny. This is a show. Not only the game, but a show. The girls dancing. It's so fun. Which
game did you go to? The Knicks in New York basketball?
In New York?
Yeah.
Knicks, yes.
Yeah?
New York Knicks
Yeah.
and the...
Brooklyn?
No.
No? Who else
And
is-
the New York Knicks.
Well, she probably doesn't remember who they hosted that night. But it was the Knicks. The Knicks play at Madison Square Garden, right?
Yes. A
Yeah.
big show.
Yeah, they...
My first time in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, wow.
I think that was the Spurs.
The Knicks only won. You know how they have the banner? They have, I think... How many world titles do they have? One, right?
Boy, I'm the wrong person.
I think they
to
only
ask the
have one.
Knickerbockers. Yeah.
The Knicks.
Champions.
One
Only
champion,
one.
that's it. 1971 or 1970.
Really?
Our team, the Lakers, 16.
It's converting her. Converting her.
Like this. Oh, wow. A lot. Muito. Muito campeón.
Muito.
Yeah, Knicks, one. That's it. So if you're looking for a favorite team, the Lakers.
I think the jersey
of
would look
Los
better on
Angeles.
Jenny too. The colors, the Lakers colors probably look better on Jenny than
They
the Knicks
were
colors.
they were purple and gold.
Okay.
They
Lakers.
were purple and gold. Yeah. That was quick.
And then maybe Super Bowl, maybe Patriots.
Patriots.
But I like Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yeah.
Dolphins.
Okay. Well, look.
And you?
Yeah. Dolphins
Oh,
are Lakers colors.
yes, like yellow.
You could wear that, right?
Yellow.
Yellow or purple?
Or purple. Like.
All right, so Jenny, I have to ask. There's a UFC here, but you're just gonna be a fan. Are you gonna go to the fights?
Sorry?
Are you gonna go to the fights?
Yes, just to watch.
Okay.
And I need to talk all the odds of the fighters on this weekend.
Oh, really? For
Yes.
for a Brazilian outlet?
Yes,
Okay.
to bet on Bulldog and
Really?
I will just watch.
So, do you want to talk a little bit about the fights right now? Then
Sorry?
you want to talk a little bit about the fights?
Now?
Yeah, agora.
Okay. Mackenzie is very good. Mackenzie debuts. On
Okay.
The UFC, Brazilian girl, Brazilian fighter.
Mackenzie Dern against Ashley Yoder. Mackenzie Dern is the favorite, minus 400. Ashley Yoder plus 320. Who do you like in that fight?
Mackenzie.
Yeah?
Yes.
How is she going to win the fight?
How? Mackenzie maybe submission.
Submission.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
And Mackenzie Dern comes from that world. Her father, Megaton Diaz, is renowned in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community. So she's been doing this since she was very young. Now, Ashley Yoder, as Dan was telling us the other day, and we got to call her fight, very well schooled on the ground as well. But at that level, has she competed? No. And, there could be a difference because there's a difference between legit black belt and black belt or whatever. But that said, Dan, it hasn't always ruled. It's not like, you got to remember there's fist flying as well.
Yeah. Not all Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts translate to the cage, sure. But I agree with Jenny here. I think submission is probably the best way to go. Mackenzie is really good.
Okay,
She's
let's
really
talk
good.
about Kat Zingano and Ketlin Vera.
Oh my God.
You want-
Kathleen.
Ketlin?
Because
the Brazilian. So that's your strategy, the Brazil.
But Munoz and John Dodson, I think.
Munoz.
No,
Dodson?
I think Dodson, yes.
Oh, don't tell
She's
Pedro.
gonna go against the Brazilian. Wow. Why do you
punish her.
Why do you like
But
Dodson?
but the girls, I prefer. Oh, Brazil. Chris Borg, of course.
Why do you think
the
John
Yana
Dodson
don't
wins?
have chance.
Who?
Yana.
Yana, no chance?
No chance. Chris is the best of the world, I think so.
Mhm.
The best woman fighter.
What are you gonna do when two Brazilians fight? Like Chris might fight Amanda Nunes in the summer.
Oh, Chris and Amanda.
Maybe.
Yes, I maybe
Who do you think wins that?
win.
Yeah.
Chris. Of
Yeah.
course, yes.
And why do you think?
I like the both.
Yeah.
I'm training my English. Sorry.
Good.
I like Amanda and I like Chris Borg, but I think now Chris is the best moment of your life.
Why do you think John Dodson's gonna win?
Oh, I don't know, because the last in Belém, Pedro Munoz don't
Make weight.
Make weight.
Yes, and I don't like this, but okay. And then I think Don Jodson is better now because Pedro Munoz don't
Make
Make weight.
yeah make win.
All right. So you got Chris Cyborg What about Frankie Edgar and Brian Ortega?
Oh, this is very difficult. Maybe Frankie Edgar.
Frankie?
Yes.
Why do you think he wins? ¿Por qué?
Oh my God. I remember the fight Frankie Edgar with José Aldo. It's very difficult. And I think Frankie is so good.
So you got Frankie.
I like
decision, knockout, submission?
I think points.
Submit or decision.
Decision, yes.
All right. So we have Jenny Andrade here, the 2017 Ring Girl of the Year, giving us her picks for UFC 222. She's got Chris Cyborg. She's got Frankie Edgar.
Yes.
She's got
Let's play.
Ketlin Vera.
Let's play, George.
Okay. We'll play.
$1. $1, me and you.
Yeah, but what? Tell everybody what the balance is right now.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Mackenzie Dern versus Ashley Yoder. You got Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
Right. And then two more.
Kathleen Vieira.
Yeah, I got you for that. I got Kat Zingano.
Yes.
Oh, wait. You got Dodson. All right. I'll take Munoz. Yeah. And then what about Andrei Arlovsky against Stefan Struve?
Sorry, where? Ah, okay. Arlovsky.
Arlovsky?
Yes.
Okay. One more. Sean O'Malley and Andre Sukumtha.
Sim O'Malley.
Sean O'Malley. Okay. All right.
Crazy guy.
He is crazy. Like the hair?
Yes, yes.
You see, yesterday he was wearing disco?
Yes, I see. Your clothes, your hair. Nice.
Yeah. He seemed pretty cool, right?
Yes, pretty cool.
Yeah, he's playing video games and seems like a really chill guy. But, you know, Andre was here in our studio and he seemed like a G himself. All right. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take some phone calls. We have Jhenny Andrade here in studio with us. As we close this week, it's Fight Week here in Vegas, UFC 222. But don't forget, tonight we also have Bellator 195. Catch them on Paramount at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. That's channel 241 if you have DirecTV like Goz and I. Tomorrow is a pay-per-view. There are some free fights on the UFC Fight Pass. Well, then again, you have to pay for the Fight Pass. But Fox Sports 1 has 4 fights for you at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk more about that when we come back.
But now they know I tried to kill him. Hold on, Mom. Here are George and Goes.
Big shout out to all of our fans that came to the studio earlier in the week. Squid had a really, really congested schedule, but things cleared up this morning after he saw the preview. So it was great to see Sammy the Squid, Randy from San Francisco.
Did he have jury duty or something like that?
I think so.
Like a wedding that he was going to.
I think so. Randy had told me about these important meetings that he had, but his schedule
conference call.
Cleared up as well. All right, Jhenny Andrade, the 2017 Ring Card Girl of the Year, in studio here with us. She is going to be a fan this weekend. She's just going to enjoy the fight, at the T-Mobile Arena. If you see her, say hello to her. Tell her you saw her on the MMA Junkie Radio Show. All right, moving on here. Let's talk to Samson in California. What's up, Samson? How you doing?
What's up, guys?
What's up?
I'm called in a while, but Ortega's going to knock out Frankie.
Brian Ortega's going to knock out Frankie. What round?
Yes. Second.
All right, now Frankie's got some of the best and tightest boxing out there, man. So, you saying he's going to outpoint him, or do you see combos that you think might work against his defense, or do you, or what kind of a knockout? Like a vicious knee? What? A little more specific.
Realistically, in the first round, I see him like almost scaring Frankie from taking him to the ground. I see Frankie taking him down, and then Ortega kind of getting some close submissions, in which case the second round, Ortega just uses his reach and just keeps laying him on him. But I definitely wouldn't be shocked if Frankie just outpoints him the whole fight. But one thing I don't know if anybody's talked about, but with this whole Conor and 165 thing going on, I can foresee him having this comeback fight against GSP for 165. I mean, you know, GSP is not a big welterweight. It's the only fight I could see George coming back for. And
well, don't forget, any way you slice the pie, him and Nate is also a big fight. So those are the two fights I would see him coming back for. But but you know what? I mean, GSP's got to be in the sweepstakes. First, we got to hear that he's healthy. And, you know, remember, he fought as a bulked-up 185er. He's got to get back to 170 shape, which he looks like. You know, I've been seeing some videos out there. So I think if anybody can do it, he can. But I think the Nate Diaz one is the one that they just have to settle at some point. And because he's beaten him, I think he'll be very interested in it. Don't forget, GSP's so wrestling-oriented, and I don't know that Conor wants to tackle that right now. Thanks for the call, Samson. It's great to hear from you. It's been a while. We got to move on, though. Let's go to Rodney in Vegas. What's up, Rodney?
He was just here.
Rodney James, the Rockstar Edgar, reporting to you live from Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in fabulous Las Vegas. I'm calling to get some betting advice, gentlemen, and also to find out what are y'all doing with my girlfriend in there.
You want some betting advice from Jenny? What's the question?
No, from Dan Tom.
Oh, Dan Tom, okay.
What do you want to talk to me for? We got Jenny here. All right, go ahead, Rodney. What's up, buddy?
Yana's a plus 1,000, man. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Holy crap. Is it worth it? I'm thinking about going for it. I was at the open workouts yesterday. She looked good. We know Cyborg is a killer, but, hey, did she do it or not?
No.
It's like one of those things. Do you want to be part of history, Rodney? In case she is, do you want to be one of those people that said, "I laid $20 on the dog"? I personally am not going to do it. I'm going to keep my money away from that fight. But yeah, it is kind of crazy. It's tempting, isn't it?
Okay, two more underdogs that were actually kind of a surprise. Sean O'Malley's an underdog, and my boy from Extreme, Brian Caraway, is an underdog. What's going on there?
Caraway is a live dog for sure. He definitely has a chance to win that fight. You know, he's got a lot to overcome on his plate. That's no secret. You know, the interesting about the Sean O'Malley Andre Sukumtat line is O'Malley actually got open. There's been some funny lines opening, by the way, for those paying attention. But O'Malley was opened as a minus 260. That's a 2-to-1 favorite.
Really?
Yeah, and he got bet down by beginning of the week. He got bet down to a plus 135 dog, guys. But now we're getting closer to fight.
That almost sounds like shady business talk.
Well,
wow, that's a lot.
Well, apparently some of the main odds makers, there's been a regime change for the online community as far as those odds go. I'm not talking about our legitimate establishments that we have here, you know, and at Mandalay Bay. But yeah, there's been some regime changes. So you're going to see some funny lines online that maybe you can take advantage of. They had Cyborg opened inside the distance. To win inside the distance, guys, it opened at minus 240.
Oh wow,
that's considered a gift. It got pushed right up to minus 500 within hours because people were like, "Oh, what?" I mean, sometimes there's Demetrius Johnson versus Wilson Hayes. You had Demetrius Johnson as plus 110 inside the distance the whole fight week, all the way up to the fight, and nobody went right under everybody's radar. Where he was, Demetrius Johnson. Speaking of these odds, I believe he was minus 1100 or something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But you get plus 110 if you just take the angle. He gets it inside the distance. So,
Randy, I'm praying that you're getting ready to wrap. Rodney, I'm praying you're getting ready to wrap up your call. We have the beautiful Jenny Andrade here.
Yeah.
You got anything else, pal?
I do. I do. I got one more shout out, bro. Alex the Great Hernandez is one of my teammates from San Antonio. San Antonio is in the house. Alexander the Great Hernandez, my friend. He's going to top the world.
Ooh,
That's right.
Man, Benil's a tough out. He can strike. He can grapple. I don't see that one happening. But, by the way, we did make an effort to get him in studio, and he wasn't able to. It coincided with something else that was going on. But he was one of the 5 that were going to come in the second hour, and it just wasn't able to happen. But good to hear from you, pal. All right, that's Rodney from Las Vegas. Let's go to Ben from New Zealand. What's up, Ben? How you been?
Yeah, I've been sweet, Gigi. It's always a good morning when you wake up and turn you guys on, and Jenny Andrade is in the studio.
Yeah, she looks lovely, doesn't she?
Thank you so much. Hi. How are you? Hey.
Tudo bom.
Tudo bom.
Look at that strong, Ben.
Ben Amora, cerca do Austrália, país, el nome es New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Antes, ele ficava em Brasil. Ele fala português.
Oh, nice. Where do you live in Brazil? When?
I lived very close to Belém, very close to the Cidade de Leoto.
Sim, Belém, the last UFC in Brazil. Nice. I like your city, but now do you live in Australia?
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
New Zealand. Nice.
Have you spent much time up in the north there, Jenny?
Você Você conhece muito do Brasil Norte?
Norte. A little bit.
A little bit?
Yes. My first time in Norte.
Okay.
When I work in UFC Belém. My first time.
Zona Amazônia, conhece você?
Never
Nunca?
been to Amazonas.
Fortaleza, Norte-Este?
Fortaleza, sim. Natal. Nordeste. Muito.
Gosta muito?
Gosto muito. But North, first time.
Okay. There you go, Ben.
Brazil is so big.
Yeah. Anything else, buddy?
You moved from Paraná. You moved to Sao Paulo instead of Rio de Janeiro. When you made that decision, why did you choose Sao Paulo instead of Rio?
Você agora mora em São Paulo. Por que São Paulo e não Rio?
Because my work stay in São Paulo, a lot of photos and the TV shows, and São Paulo is better for me.
Pero não gosta da praia, do Rio?
Yes, I like the beach, but I have beach 1 hour by car. I have.
What's better, 5 minutes or 1 hour?
Yes, 5 minutes. But in Rio now is very difficult.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, the violence.
Because she also, yeah, exactly. Yes. She also does a lot of TV and modeling, and Sao Paulo is like a big hub, like New York. Like the big cities, Paris, New York.
Yes, and my family lives in São Paulo, in a city closer to São Paulo. My dog, my mother, my father, my brother.
There you go. All right, Ben, we got to get going, man. Thanks for the call. Who do you like in Edgar and Ortega? Give me a quick prediction there.
It would be heartbreaking if Edgar loses. I mean, look at this guy's career. The only person he's lost to Gray, he lost to Benson, and he lost to Jose Aldo. But Gray and Benson, everyone thinks that he beat Benson in the second fight. So the only fighter he's ever really been bested by is Jose Aldo. And if that's the only fighter you've been bested by, that's not much.
I know. It's been an awesome career, legendary. He'll be a Hall of Famer for sure. Thanks for calling in, buddy. All right, I do want to thank all of our guests for this week, including Kat Zingano, Andre Arlovsky, Adam Milstead, Zach Otto, Andre Sukumtha, Cody Stamen, Jimmy Smith, Mark Henry, Kevin Holland, Stephan Bonnar, Jhenny Andrade, who's joining us here right now, Sam Alvey, John McCarthy, Chris Weidman, and Matt Erickson. Wow, we had a lot of guests.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, so it's been a fun week. Now, you got to keep it locked in on MMA Junkie throughout this weekend. we will be covering Bellator 195 and, of course, UFC 222. We have a lot of writers in town, along with the videographers, for excellent coverage. We have just a couple more minutes here. We'll cruise to the finish line. What are you going to do while you're here in Las Vegas? Play blackjack?
Play blackjack, play poker, visit all casinos, and talk with the people's players. And I will better understand about the games.
Basketball and football.
Help me, guys. Send a message on my Twitter. Instagram, please help me. You.
Yeah, Sammy the Squid will help you out with that.
Nice.
You can follow her, by the way, on Twitter, Jhenny Andrade UFC. Did I get that right, Jenny?
On Twitter, Jhenny UFC.
Yeah, Jhenny UFC is her Twitter handle, and you can give her a follow. Also, she's got a website, JhennyAndrade.com. But the best is Instagram.
Instagram's the best.
Yeah,
the best radio of the world, the MMA Junkie.
You gotta follow Jhenny Andrade on Instagram. She has great pictures. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I have a present for you guys.
Oh, wow.
The Goose and the George. Just too sorry.
It's okay.
Next time I will.
Very cool.
I like it.
Thank
you very much.
Muito obrigado.
You know him? He's Lula.
Lula?
Yeah, Lula.
Lula.
Oh, no, because you know what? Lula is their former president.
No, Lula.
Oh, Lula is squid. See.
Lula.
Why?
Yeah, long story.
Hey Jenny, since I can't get a hat, can I get some advice real quick if there's time, Gigi? I don't know if there's
sure. Yeah,
time.
You got about 1 minute.
Advice. So I just recently became single. I'm talking to this Brazilian girl. She's from Brazil. What would you give advice to? You know, for talking to a Brazilian girl. You know, some things translate to cultures like giving flowers. Something. Is there anything Brazilian girls that's special for?
Advice.
What?
Vai querer enamorar mulheres do Brasil.
You? Oh, do you need so much?
So much? That's not a good start.
Romantic and the simple.
Flowers, chocolate, strawberries.
Flowers, yes.
Good dancer. Brazilian women
Good
like good
dancer.
dancer.
A little bit. Do you know sertanejo?
The fighter guy that plays the guitar?
Yes, but the kind of the music.
The music. Oh, okay.
Yes, sertanejo.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get out of here, folks. For Jenny and Dan and Goes and Danny back east, I'm George. Have a nice weekend. Go out there and be champions.
I'm gonna keep on the